The future of OpenAI is in jeopardy. Elon Musk and Sam Altman are going to court over OpenAI changing their status from a nonprofit to a for-profit company and changing their mission statement. The original mission statement that Elon Musk and Sam Altman and other founders agreed with was for OpenAI to be a nonprofit organization that worked for the betterment of AI and wouldn't let anybody control it. But now, slowly but surely over time, the mission statement of OpenAI has changed, especially after the deal with Microsoft, and they're becoming more and more for-profit. Elon Musk also has other issues with OpenAI, namely their censorship and their strict guidelines and the way their AI is trained, which is giving more answers that are left-leaning. That is a very debatable position to have, and I think that's why they're in court. But in order to learn more about this, we're going to watch a quick video from The Hill, and I'm going to give my thoughts as we go along.
A clash between tech heavyweights is heading to court today. Elon Musk and OpenAI CEO Sam Altman are fighting a legal battle that could shape the future of one of the biggest AI companies on the planet. Here to break down the details is The Hill's senior tech reporter, Miranda Nazaro. Hey, Miranda. So Elon Musk is suing Sam Altman. Why?
That's right, Drew. So today marks the first day of the high-stakes clash trial between Elon Musk and Sam Altman. Essentially, Elon Musk believes, Elon helped found OpenAI back in 2015 alongside some other now...
Which honestly, what an achievement, right? You actually, 9 years before AI went mainstream, 8 years before AI went mainstream, you founded this company that is researching AI with a group of other entrepreneurs, and you basically funded the vessel for what AI is today. And now OpenAI and ChatGPT are the most known AI companies and AI models. So yeah, I mean, whether you like Elon Musk or not, that's the fact that he did it way back when, and he was funding it, and he was actually one of the founders is very interesting.
Well-known technology executives. And when they had founded it, it was founded as a nonprofit. They wanted to develop AI to, quote, benefit all of humanity. Now, within the first few years of this company, it became clear that in order to advance AI in the way that they were hoping to, they couldn't remain in this nonprofit structure. They simply needed more capital. So as they were exploring this structure, Elon, at least according to OpenAI, started to want to have more of a say as to who actually leads the company. And, with this nonprofit structure that they had created, OpenAI execs like Altman and Greg Brockman had basically said, we don't feel like any one person should be leading the company. Anyway, Musk believes that they betrayed sort of this mission once they decided to pursue a for-profit structure.
Yeah, because they didn't want Elon to control the company, but now it's Sam Altman. Sam Altman is the face. You could argue they didn't want Elon to control the company then, and now they want Sam Altman to control the company. So it's two separate things. But the more comes out from Elon's point of view, the more I can see where he's coming from. And I can see how he feels betrayed, especially since you were one of the initial founders, and you kind of these people, you were working with them and you were enabling them to be able to pursue this nonprofit at the time.
Sure. And 2018, he left the company, and then in 2019 is when OpenAI launched their for-profit arm. And essentially, Musk, 5 years later in 2024, sued OpenAI, Sam Altman and Greg Brockman, another one of the founders, for betraying his trust, for taking his money. He contributed millions to the company when it first started in 2015. And now he is hoping for both financial damages, which will go back to OpenAI's charity, or nonprofit arm, I guess you could say, as well as Altman and Brockman's leadership positions to go away and to unwind this structure that they've started.
Seems like this has gone...
If this goes the way Elon wants, it would be a big shakeup in the AI industry. I don't think that's going to happen. He might be able to get financial damages, but changing the leadership, changing the status of the company back to a nonprofit, and changing the way they operate back to what it was, I don't think it's going to happen. especially now when OpenAI's deal with Microsoft just expired. So now they can deal with they can have licensing deals with Amazon, Google, and any other company that they see fit, and provide their own proprietary AI to them. I don't see the leadership structure and the company structure go back, but I can see a financial damages be paid out to Elon. Now, how much is he gonna get? Billions and billions of dollars? I don't think so. He might get a little bit more than what he put in initially, but and this is if things go his way. He's probably, if things go his way, he's probably gonna definitely get the financial damages back. But changing the leadership is just a little far reached for me. Like I can't see that. It's too far reaching. Like I can't see that happening.
Past the business aspects though, and has included some personal attacks as well. Can you just talk about kind of how this has evolved into a fight in between the two men personally?
Absolutely. So Sam Altman, it's funny. He says he grew up with Musk as a sort of hero in Musk's early days. I mean, Altman is an entire generation behind Musk, and I think at the start of their relationship, there was obviously a lot of admiration. They had this very ambitious goal in mind, but since their business relationships have soured, Musk has also sort of used this as a catalyst for criticism in the public eye. So we're often seeing on X, which the social media platform Elon.
I will say that if there's one thing I don't like about, there's a lot of things I don't like about Elon Musk, but one of the things is his tendency to lash out and just be this abrasive character, when for years he has been portrayed as this genius entrepreneur who knows how to get things done and who's very radical with the way he runs his companies and all that. And it's one of the biggest thinkers and one of the biggest businessmen, not necessarily businessmen, one of the biggest tech leaders of our time, right? That's the way he has been portrayed for years. But like ever since he bought Twitter and ever since he kind of became more vocal about all sorts of issues, he has a tendency to just do these personal attacks and just go very, very low. And I mean, some fans and some people like it, and he still has a cult of personality around him, don't get me wrong, but as a bystander, that doesn't endear him to me at all. And and in fact it shows that, oh, this guy has a short temper, this guy takes everything personally, this guy is either his way or the highway. And if you want to be, this is what I think. And you know, you people are free to do what they want and act how they want. But to me, if you are one of the biggest leaders of our time, right, you should act in a way that instills more confidence and it's not as petty, just so we can trust you with more decisions that you're gonna make in the future, right? Like take Doge for example. If Elon Musk went into Doge with the positive PR that he had before buying Twitter and before being buddies with Trump and all that, I was just talking about the PR aspect of it. If he just went in with the goodwill of majority of the people would give him the benefit of the doubt and actually give him a chance to enact government efficiencies. I don't the concept of that whole fucking department was shaky at best, but there would be more grace for him to be able to work, right? But now it's just such a dark cloud over him, and there's this level of distrust, especially since he's acting this way, that it just rubs me the wrong way.
Musk now owns. We're seeing them clash over both the companies themselves, but also, Musk is always quick to call Sam Altman scam Altman, and they've fought over Twitter or X now over multiple different things that have absolutely nothing to do with their own fallout, but because they really just don't like each other now.
Is Sam Altman a scammer? I don't think so, but he does have a tendency to exaggerate the truth a lot and hype up his own products to insane levels that is not realistic at all. See the change from GPT-4 to GPT-5. That right there should tell you how much exaggeration Sam does, because there was a bigger leap from 5.3 to 5.4 versus 4 to 5. And it's just, to me, if Sam just reined it in a little bit and picked his spots for hyping it up, it would have gone just way better. It would have gone way better. But it's the voice mode, the natural voice mode. That was another thing that they were hyping up so bad, and it was delayed. And when it came out, it wasn't as good as they hyped it out to be, and they had to keep updating and iterating on it. And when it comes out and it's not as good as what you say it is, people lose interest. I forgot about it, even though it's there now, and you can have a whole conversation with ChatGPT, and it feels like a natural conversation. And the more the model's updated, the better the answers are. But that initial launch was just so bad that it was just not worth it to even get into it. And now the hype is all died down. And imagine if they released that a few months ago, or with 5.5, right? And they really advertised it and sold it as one of the big features of ChatGPT. And it would already be robust. It would already be able to detect things way better than it did before when it initially launched. And it just would have been so much better. But hey, it is what it is.
And we've seen through text messages that have come out through this trial in evidence that, Altman has asked Musk to stop criticizing the company public, saying it actually hurts his feelings. So this has become deeply personal as much as it is also a business venture. And I think this trial, it's a long time coming, but no one is really surprised to see it get messy.
What can we expect from court today, and who is going to be testifying in this case?
Yeah, so court kicked off just about 90 minutes ago in California, and it is starting with jury selection. So while we are not privy to this information, jury selection should be fairly quick, and Tuesday is expected to start for opening arguments. Now, we are going to see some high profile people on the stand, including Sam Altman, Elon Musk themselves, but also a cast of OpenAI executives, former OpenAI board members, including also Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella.
Wow.
Microsoft is actually a co-defendant on this case as
Wow, that is actually hype. If anything comes out of this trial, is this is going to be the most interesting thing coming out of it, other than the actual result of it. I'm thinking it's just going to be monetary. Like they are not gonna change the structure of OpenAI. I would be very surprised if the judge says, "Yeah, no, OpenAI, go back to being a nonprofit and put Elon Musk in charge." Like, hell no, dude, that's not gonna happen. They definitely gonna appeal that, and that's not gonna go anywhere. But the testimonies is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting, and the questions they're gonna ask and the answers are gonna be. I'll want to hear what they all have to say about Sam Altman, Musk, and how the company started, how it's operating right now, and how things went wrong and all of that. Yeah. This is the part I'm actually very interested to hear.
as well. So we're going to really get to see more of the inner workings of Silicon Valley. As I mentioned before, we're seeing text messages, emails, disposition transcripts come out that is really giving the public an actual glimpse into, how some of these companies that we now hear about every single day in our everyday life, we're seeing sort of how did these companies start, as well as what has motivated these leaders to make these decisions. I mean, Silicon Valley is only led by a handful of these technology moguls, if you will, and we're getting to see a firsthand account of how they operate and how they actually see the future with AI in it.
I mean, if there's any indication of how Elon is acting, they're very petty. These guys are just narcissistic, petty, and power hungry, money hungry. And they just want to control everything. If this is the way they're acting for this trial, and we're getting a glimpse into how they're how behind the scenes they're running things, it's not looking good. And you would want to hold them to a higher standard, but because they're not elected officials and they are business leaders, tech leaders that have all this power and influence because they developed the technology that everybody's using, they get to act and do whatever they want. And my question to you guys is that what you would want from the people who are in charge of these companies? And this do you trust them to keep providing the same services without without them misusing your data, without them misusing your trust and, jacking up the prices and all that. I don't know.
What do you think this case means for the tech world more broadly and for the development of AI technology?
I think this case has some serious implications depending on either way that it goes. So, OpenAI, we know, is looking at an initial public offering probably by the end of this year. Now, should they lose this case and should the judge stipulate that they do need to undo this corporate structure that they have created in recent years, that could completely upend their IPO plans. And you think, oh, it's just one company, but the reality is, as I mentioned, there's only a handful of AI firms at this point that can develop technology to the advanced level that is so widespread. We're seeing the federal government use a lot of OpenAI, for example. So that's one part of it. Now, if Musk were to win in that case, we could see his AI company that he went on to found, XAI, also sort of succeed in this competitive landscape. And now, on the flip side, should OpenAI win the case, we could see Altman sort of take the company in a very dramatically new direction. I think that once they won't be under the constraints of worrying so much about their company structure, we could see it restructured again, as they're going to need even more capital before this IPO. So, in terms of the companies, those are the direct, I think, implications.
I mean, imagine Elon Musk gains control of OpenAI and runs ChatGPT through his data centers and is basically like supercharges it. That would be something. But I wouldn't trust, because then he has the data of like 900 million people under his fucking thumb, and it's like he already has a data of like hundreds of millions of people with Twitter. So you would just give him more power. Sam Altman changing the structure of the company, maybe, but that would just be IPO related. No, it wouldn't be. If he wins, it would just be IPO related. They wouldn't even care about. They won, so they defended themselves and won. So I don't think they would. It would be necessarily because they won this case that now they can exercise their free will and do whatever they want with their company. But
But also just more broadly, as I mentioned before, we're seeing so much come out about how these leaders make these decisions, and some of it's public scrutiny. Honestly, we see AI having some really bad approval ratings right now, and I think it could just bring the leaders themselves in these companies under further scrutiny.
All right, we'll continue to follow the story. For now, we'll leave it at that. Miranda Nazaro, great to have your insight. Appreciate it.
wow, 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 wow. It's gonna be a very interesting court case. We'll be following it as much as we can. If there's any big updates, we're gonna be reacting to it. And let me know. Let me know what you think. Who you think is gonna win? Sam Altman, Elon Musk? Who do you want it to win? Who do you want to win? Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you want me to talk about next. And until next time, a radio out.